and losing weight has been a challenge, and I was carrying 90 more pounds than what I have on me right now. It was my choice to not look at myself critically and say, what can I do to be healthier? I just felt like it was so out of reach that I didn't try. I got used to not being in touch with my own body and worrying more about providing for the little baby that was either growing inside of me or nourishing itself off of me. And so I just totally learned to ignore my own needs. And honestly, it was easier than working out, because with little ones all around the house, I had such a limited amount of time to work with, and working full time and, trying to be an individual and be a good wife and be a good mother and be a good employee and be a good Christ follower and be a good daughter-in-law and be a good daughter and a good sister. Like, that's a lot of things to try to be good at. And for those of you who know me, I'm not good at all the things all the time.
I think you're good at it.
I appreciate that. I put so much pressure on myself. It's not feasible to be everyone's everything. It's not healthy, and I had unhealthy expectations for myself, and so of course I'm not going to live up to that. And so with all of that, I would eat, and I have deeper reasons going back to my childhood and some of the things that I went through growing up as to why I was eating, to try and silence myself or my inner voice, or silence some of the memories of things I didn't want to deal with. But when I had the surgery, all of a sudden those things started to come back, and it's like out of the blue I was really sad about my dad, or upset with my dad again, and he's been gone for 6 years, and all of a sudden I'm upset with him, over something that happened when I was 15 years old, and I couldn't realize right away why I was feeling that feeling. During the classes that I was taking before the surgery is when these feelings started to come up for me, and within a couple months I started to realize it's because I'm not eating to stuff the feelings back down, and now I'm having to deal with things that I thought that I had already dealt with, but turns out I hadn't.
Mm-hmm.
I just stuffed them way down in there. Well, I guess I should back up. Somebody described the Roux-en-Y surgery as the equivalent of swallowing a stop sign. You're not always going to obey the stop signs, right?
Okay.
But inside of you is this mechanism now that's telling you, stop. Like, you can't eat that, or you cannot continue eating, or you're going to have consequences.
Mm-hmm.
Being dumping or vomiting or foaming, like that foaming vomit. Have you ever had that happen to me?
No, I've never even heard of that.
It's disgusting.
What is that?
One time.
Well, okay, we took the same class. Why did I never hear about this?
Different instructors, I guess.
Maybe I wasn't paying attention.
A likely story. But with regards to swallowing the stop sign.
What'd you say?
Yeah, exactly. With regards to swallowing the stop sign, really what that means to me is the surgery isn't going to fix everything for you. It is going to stop you physically from overeating sometimes, because if you still are depending on that self-inflicted pain from overeating, that pattern that you had established before, you can go back to that and you can gain all your weight back. You can stretch out your pouch. You can just continuously overeat and have too many calories to where you're just going to gain. It is a physical change for the rest of my life inside of my body, because things are rerouted from how they used to be, but it doesn't mean that the weight's going to stay off just because I had this surgery. This is like somebody hitting a reset button, and it's like, okay, now you can lose all this weight, but you've got to keep it off.
Mm-hmm.
And worst case scenario, I should asterisk and say, if I had to stop at McDonald's because that is the only thing around on a road trip or in the middle of nowhere, and the only thing is a McDonald's, I would literally order an egg. That's it.
Yeah, it turns out
One
McDonald's does just sell an egg,
Yeah.
which is kind of cool.
You can order a round egg, and it costs about $1. You just have to be smart, and you really have to think ahead and start learning, but you have to learn all over again. Your whole world changes when you have this surgery. Our world changed, my world changed, our family's world changed, and how we relate to the people around us changed. Everything changed because of this surgery, and we need to kind of know a little bit about what's going, if I'm going to a party or a barbecue or potlucks are the worst. I don't know what's actually in the food, and most things that people make to share are loaded with carbs because
Loaded.
yeah, it's like that's comfort food, right? Like if you think of what people like, macaroni and cheese, pasta is so inexpensive to feed a crowd. It's like, oh, we're going to a party and the theme is pasta, so guess what, the theme for me is I'm not eating. So I do carry what I call rescue protein with me, whether it's protein shakes, protein bars, nuts, which he can't have. He's got an added complication of being allergic to tree nuts and peanuts, which are
That's like the major source of protein for most energy bars.
He can't have that, so he's got like Cliff Bars, specific ones, because some of those have nuts in them too, and protein shakes in the trunk of his car so that he has what he needs.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching. If you have any comments or any video suggestions, leave it in the comments below and maybe we'll make a video out of it. You never know.
Yeah. All right. Thanks.